Okay. Just need my water. I know you're all here to see the shelf build, so I wanted to show you that and give you some other updates. My sister-in-law let me know that it actually isn't a Haworthia plant. I gave you guys the wrong name for that. It's actually a laced aloe, so it's in the aloe family. And it's doing really well. Since I put it in that little terracotta pot, a lot of the green is coming back, where before it was this very dark purple pink. So it's fun to see it just completely transform before my eyes. I'm excited to see what it looks like the more that it grows and the more that it acclimates to its new environment. And then the second clarification that I wanted to throw out there was, one of you let me know, Dave H, this is you. So he said, I'm not sure that's a donkey tail. Donkey tail is a sedum morganium, excuse me if that's pronounced wrong, which has longer, pointier leaves. That looks more like a sedum burrito, sometimes known as a baby donkey's tail. Thank you, Dave, for that clarification. And now the moment you guys have all been waiting for, I am going to show you the shelf build. There's a lot of floating shelf tutorials out there, and I'm not huge into making tutorials. I will go ahead and link in the comments the tutorials that I found the most helpful and straightforward. There's a lot of ways to make a floating shelf. The method that I opted for was to make a frame that mounts to the wall, and then a casing, which is the shelf that slides over that. It was really easy and straightforward, and mine ended up being roughly 6 feet long, which I think ended up working really well for the wall. I was going to do 2 8-foot shelves, and then, or 10 foot, I think I was going to do 10-foot shelves, but then I opted to go for the shorter shelf and just one, which I'm happy with the way it turned out. I'd like to do a little more experimenting with doubling up shelves and kind of seeing how that looks, but I wasn't feeling super ambitious, especially where this was my first time. It looks a little warped. It almost looks like it bows in the center and one side comes up a little bit. And that's because the outside piece, well, let me just show you. So this front piece is the piece that I'm talking about, where it came up, it stopped like about here is where it kind of starts to bow up a little bit. But I loved the character in this piece, all this roughage and all the chinks and the knots. And so we didn't change it. I was feeling a little too lazy to change it too. It's not like super noticeable. It's noticeable because you guys are like head on right now. But when you're just casually walking around the space, it's not as obvious. So I'm fine with it. For the future though, now I know to get a piece that is actually very straight. So even though it's not perfect, I still love the way that it turned out. I've considered sanding it and maybe filling in the nail holes with a wood filler just to give it a more finished look. But I'm afraid if I sand it, then I'm gonna lose a lot of that very rugged coloring in the spots where it's kind of roughed up. So I might just keep it as it is. It's so nice to finally have some pictures displayed. Oh my goodness, we haven't had pictures up here since we moved up here. So it's really nice to get some of those back up. And also to have a lot of those succulents and cacti that need the sunshine up off the floor and out of darker places. They're all in the sunshine now. And I hope they get enough sun up there on the shelf, but I think that they would. It's also a fun place that I can display some of my propagation projects. They look a little more intentional when they're put on the shelf like that. My kitchen windowsill was just kind of becoming this catch-all for all of my plants and grow projects. So it's nice to have a place to kind of distribute some of those and get them off of my windowsill so it's not so cluttered. But yeah, I'm very happy with the way it turned out. I might stick a few more of these up around the house because I always need more plant shelves. But thank you so much to everybody who tuned in. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss future videos. Drop a comment below, let me know who you are, where you're from. I'd love to get to know a lot of you guys. That's my favorite part about these vlogs, is meeting so many new people and connecting with you guys. So introduce yourselves, and we will catch you guys on the flip.